the most important thing that went wrong was that my husband fell on our ceremony. Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. It's Amin here and I am so excited to finally be filming this video because it has been years in the making. If you've been on my channel before, you probably know I recently got married. Actually, I should say I'm not wearing my ring right now. It's actually at the jeweler's just to get cleaned and stuff like that. So we're still together, do not worry. I'm sure nobody was worried. I have been trying to film this video for so long. We've actually been married for 9 months. And it is very difficult to convince Darm to make a video. So if you see him on my channel, especially in any travel vlogs, I have forced him to be there and he is not content with that. But I decided I'm just gonna go ahead and make this video, tell you guys about our experience throughout our wedding week, which was, like I said, last year. And then hopefully I can convince him to come in maybe at the end and give me his side of things, his 2 cents. Basically, as you guys know, I shared my entire planning process for my wedding. So I shared, you know, my outfit, you know, how I found it. I went to India with my mom. We did all of our shopping there. And then throughout the entire year of preparation, I vlogged all of it. And so all of that is available on my channel, especially if you are getting married soon. And if you're planning a sick wedding, there are so many different pieces that you need to keep in mind. It's very overwhelming. I did not have a wedding planner and I was completely okay with that because I love planning things. I love being detail oriented and scheduling and organizing. And I was the first one out of my friend group to get married. So all of my resources, I have been passing them on and I think it's been helpful for other people. At this point, if you haven't already, I have also vlogged my entire wedding week and those videos have gone up as well. So, you know, vlogging my pre-events, vlogging the wedding day, the reception, all of that. And from the vlogs, you can probably tell like BTS, there were some unexpected things that came throughout the week, as you know, as there always will be in any wedding and any wedding that's a week long. There are so many different events where things can go wrong. Before I go into everything that went wrong at the wedding, maybe some regrets that I have, I do just want to say that it was the best week of my life. And when I do get Darm to film a portion of this video, I'm sure he'll say the same because we talk about it all the time. We had so much fun being surrounded by people that we love and honestly just celebrating our love. We have been together for almost 11 years now. When we got married, we'd been together for 10 years. We're high school sweethearts. And so it just like everything was perfect, even though it wasn't perfect, if I can say that. But I do look back at those videos all the time, like all the content that I made for YouTube, for Instagram, all the pictures. Like I just get really emotional thinking about it because it was the best week of my entire life. I could not have asked for things to go differently. I feel very lucky to be able to say that. So without further ado though, let's go into all the drama that unfolded that week, all the things that went wrong, things that went unexpected. There was like a hiccup probably every day, like almost every day, but they were pretty minor, like nothing big enough that would like kind of rock our boat or like that would kind of destroy an event or anything like that. Honestly, the first day, the henna day, the mehndi day, like everything went pretty well. We did hire someone to like help with food preparation and tea and stuff, and like there was a little bit of a delay. I don't know why they just didn't make the food on time, so the guests had arrived and there was like an hour or so before anybody was able to eat anything. So that was like really stressful for us, and it was our first event. I'm also the eldest child, so our eldest child and also the first one to get married on my side of the family. So we were just like under a lot of pressure to make sure everything was going well. And you know, when people were delayed that 1 hour, like we were getting a little bit tense. It ended up fine, like we all had fun. It was a good time. It did rain that night, which you probably saw in the vlog. It started raining at like 10:30 or 11 p.m. And at that point it was just like me, my friends, my cousins. And so we didn't give a shit. Like we were under a tent, we were still having fun, turning up. But yeah, that was a really fun night. The second night is when things kind of like started not going the way that I expected it to. So the second day was, I had my Maya event in the morning, and that was a Wednesday. And then Wednesday evening, we had my Sangeet / Jago, which is like a larger pre-event that was at a venue. And I was late for that event. Like my makeup and hair every single day actually I had 2 different artists. So for all my pre-events the week I had a different artist, and then the wedding ceremony and the reception day I had a different artist. But every day we were at least 1 hour late. Like I was on time, the process of my hair and makeup just took longer than what we allocated for. And so if you are a bride, this is a good tip actually, if you are a bride and you're planning all of these events and you're scheduling things out, make sure to give yourself extra room in the schedule for hair and makeup to have delays, because there likely will be a delay. Like I don't know what it was, but just every single day I was an hour late, at least 30 to 60 minutes behind schedule of what I had initially planned. And I'm a very scheduled person, like my photo video group, like we were all on the same page in terms of timing, and I still was late. So the day that I was getting ready for my Sangeet, I went to my makeup artist's house, which was like 5 minutes away from my house, so it wasn't super far. I was delayed enough where I had to take the 407, which is like the toll route. I had to take the toll highway to the venue because otherwise I wouldn't have made it there in time to take my pictures and photos before the guests started arriving. Luckily it was a weekday, so people were coming after work. I knew everyone was going to be late, but I was still more late than what I wanted to be. So that was the first hiccup for that night. And then let me get some water because the second hiccup is gonna make me so mad. Deep breath, deep breath. It's been like literally 9 months and I'm still angry about this. Okay, second hiccup. So you might have seen like some people will get like art and like flooring done for the dance floor at a venue. And so I did that for my Sangeet day because we were doing a dance performance and I wanted to post that performance on YouTube. So I wanted everything to look very aesthetic. We put our heart and soul into this dance. So if you haven't watched it, definitely go and check it out. It was epic. Like I'm so proud of everybody that pulled through and practiced and like literally went outside their comfort zone for this performance, but we had so much fun. Anyways, so back to the floor wrap. So that's what they call it when you get like the dance floor covered. And so we got the dance floor covered and it was a design that I picked. I also didn't know, another tip if you're a bride, I didn't know that you couldn't pick any design you wanted. Like you had to go through this website where they would have like high quality images and they're basically like stock photos that you had to pick from. I was under the impression that I could kind of make my own design, and maybe I could have, but like I'm not that artistic enough to do that. So I had to pick from a stock image and I spent a lot of time trying to pick the correct image. So I finally picked this image, it matched the decoration theme and everything. And then I came in and the floor was pixelated. It looked horrible. Like I don't know if anybody else would have noticed except me because I picked the image, but it was so pixelated, like to the point where it was like fully blown up and I could see that it was not what it was supposed to be. And it made me honestly pretty upset because these dance floors are not cheap. I'm pretty sure I paid like $1,000, something around that, like close to $1,000 to have this floor done up the way I wanted it to match the aesthetic, to match the vibe. And I came in and it was ruined. It was pixelated. And I was so angry about it. I fully took pictures of the floor and everything. I don't even have time to take pictures of the floor because I was running late. We had like a shared iCloud album and I could see in the album that I would like zoom in, like days later, like zoom in and look at the floor and be like, what the actual heck was going on? Because of the design that I picked, it wasn't super obvious until I told you. And I did tell like my friends, my bridesmaids, I was like, this floor is pixelated, I'm so angry. And they were like, honestly, it's not super bad. And you couldn't tell. If you didn't know, you couldn't tell. But I was really angry and I did send a very detailed email back to the company. This company was different than the one that I used for our reception, which was just an honest, like it was like a plain background for the reception. So there wasn't a lot of room for error. But I sent them a very lengthy email explaining that they should have told me that the image I picked would be pixelated when blown up, or they could have made the images to a smaller scale where it didn't look pixelated. So I was honestly angry that I paid so much money for a professional service and it didn't come out the way I wanted to. There was no communication about, you know, the issues that I might run into either. And they didn't even tell me like after it was done that, hey, by the way, it's gonna look like this. Like there was no communication whatsoever. So I was honestly really angry. I'm not the type of person to like go and leave a bad review or like blast them on social media or anything like that. Even now, I'm not gonna share the company that it was, but I personally have told my friends like I don't recommend going with this company again. And so I sent that email, and shocker, I never heard back. They never responded to me. And as a customer, like that's like also a red flag. Like number one red flag, you didn't communicate with me that whatever I picked wasn't gonna look nice. And then number two red flag, that when you have a customer that's not impressed, that you just ignore them. So yeah, going forward, I do not recommend this one company to any of my friends. I have like literally written that in all the documents that I share with my friends for wedding planning. I have like bolded and said do not recommend this company. Other than that, everything went great that Sangeet night. And then the next day I woke up and I had an allergic reaction. And this was the first time I had ever reacted to costume jewelry, essentially. I have always had reaction to what we call gare. Gare is like a bracelet that Sikhs wear to kind of symbolize their religion. And I don't wear one because I've always had an allergic reaction to those, but I just didn't, like I haven't worn one for years since I was a kid. So I just didn't put two and two together, I guess. The necklace that I was wearing on my Sangeet night was oxidized, that's what they call it. It had like a silver undertone to it. And I woke up the next day, and I'll put pictures of myself here. My entire neck was red. It had bumps on it. It just looked really bad. I went to my makeup artist, and she was able to cover it up a little bit. And then I was wearing a necklace for my other event that was on Thursday. And it looked fine, like you couldn't tell, but it was a little bit uncomfortable. Luckily, I have friends that are nurses, and they were able, one of them was able to come by and give me her hydrocortisone. Funny enough, I went to one of my best friend's wedding a couple weeks ago, and I wore a necklace that was not oxidized, but I ended up having the same reaction. So I actually just went out and bought my own hydrocortisone, so I have it with me going forward, because I guess I'm just sensitive girly, and I just didn't expect that. But yeah, so that was something else that I was like kind of like freaking out about for that day. And the same day, the other freak out that happened was for my wedding ceremony day, I wanted fresh jasmine. Jasmine is honestly kind of like a cultural, traditional thing that some people will wear in their hair the day that they get married, or even through other events in the week. And so I wanted to buy garland, like a garland of jasmine. And the person that was doing my floral bouquet, like my bridal bouquet, I had emailed them earlier about adding on a jasmine garland, and they said they didn't have any more capacity, like they were completely full for that week. Like I emailed them probably like a month ago, a month before I needed them, and they said they couldn't add it on. It is pretty common. So my mom was like asking around everybody that she knows. We were looking on Facebook Marketplace, you know, trying to get recommendations. And then we found this one store, and they were like, we don't take like pre-orders for it, you just have to call the day of and we should have them. So I was like, okay. So we needed them on Thursday because Friday morning is when I would have worn it. So I called them Thursday. They told me, I called them on Monday or something, and they were like, you're calling too early, call us the day that you need it. Call us the day that you need it by 12 o'clock and we'll tell you. We'll tell you to come pick it up. So I called them that day at 12 o'clock on Thursday, less than 24 hours before I was gonna get married, and they told me they were sold out. I was freaking out a little bit because my entire hairstyle was planned around this jasmine garland, and I really, really wanted it. And then my mom pulled through, and she had messaged this person on Facebook Marketplace a few days before, just asking like if they would carry it, if they had it in stock and stuff. So then we ended up contacting this person who actually is like a florist, but they just like post stuff on Facebook Marketplace, and then they ended up having it. And obviously I couldn't leave to go and get it, so one of my cousins went and got it, and he had no idea what he was looking for. So he was like calling us being like, what do I need? Like they're asking how many meters, like what's going on. And then it all sorted out. He was able to get the jasmine garland, and when I was actually doing my hair the next day with a makeup artist, she told me it was very, very good quality, like better than she's seen before. So it all worked out. But that was like another situation, like I was literally like, my chest was unwell, and then I was trying to run around like trying to figure out this jasmine garland situation. Speaking of flowers, I was on the fence about getting a bridal bouquet because they're super expensive, and then I asked my cousin, who is also my photographer, and she said that I should get it, that she recommends it for the photos and stuff, and I was like, okay. And then when I got the bridal bouquet Thursday afternoon, I think one of Darm's friends / groomsmen picked up the floral order for us because he had boutonnieres for his guys, and then I had the bridal bouquet that I wanted. So when I opened it, I saw it was hot pink. and I was very confused because hot pink was not in my color theme. So I thought that they messed up the order, but I didn't have time obviously to say anything about it. Like I was literally getting married the next day. So I was a little bit upset that there was randomly hot pink in my bridal bouquet. It didn't look too odd because I ended up going with a lip color that was more on like the brighter pink tone, which was unexpected also. That was like a morning of decision, so it didn't look horrible. And so I thought it was a vendor's fault, like they must have screwed up my order with somebody else, something like that. But then I went back in my emails because I was gonna send another strongly worded email, but then I went back and looked at my contract because I was like, let me just make sure that I didn't mess up, and it was kind of me that messed up. So I told them the colors that I wanted, which was like blush pink and white and red. So I wanted the 3 colors, but somehow when they made the contract, they put hot pink in the contract, and I didn't catch it when I signed the contract and paid my deposit. So it was kind of like both of our faults, but I couldn't like tell them that, I couldn't like not recommend them or anything like that. You know, it was just like whatever. It was not that big of a deal at the end of the day. I still look at the photos and I'm like, what the hell? Like, why is there hot pink in there? But luckily it wasn't the entire bouquet was hot pink. It was like some flowers in there that were hot pink. And I didn't even end up saving my bouquet. Like I was just like so over it, especially because there was these hot pink in there, that they just like ended up dying. Like I tried to preserve them like too late. Like my friends were like, you should try to preserve them, and I was like, yeah, okay, fine, I'll try. But they were already kind of like withered away at that point where we just had to throw them out. So yeah, another tip, if you think you can get away without having one, I don't necessarily recommend that you have one, because it was in like maybe a few of the shots, especially the group shots, but otherwise I didn't really use it that much. Okay, I'm gonna try to wrap this up because I'm getting hungry. But the most important thing that went wrong was that my husband fell on our ceremony. I don't even know like where to start with this. Okay, this man literally almost toppled over and I saved him. So for our weddings, we sit in front of our Guru Granth Sahib, which is our holy scripture, and we sit cross-legged, like everyone sits on the ground. And I had been told by people that your legs will fall asleep, and generally speaking, my legs do fall asleep every time I go to the temple. Like I need to shift around a lot, but when you are the bride and the groom, you cannot be shifting around. You have to be like very still, like good posture, you know, respectful and all of that. So underneath my outfit, you couldn't tell my legs were not fully crossed, but I was able to like switch them around a little bit, like pretty often. So I was trying for them not to fall asleep. And so they did fall asleep once in a while, but like it wasn't like a disastrous occurrence or anything like that. And then at the end, when we stand up to do a prayer, I could tell like my husband was standing next to me, Dharma was standing next to me, and there was a moment right after we got up when he started going backwards, like literally about to fall back, and I like saw him in the corner of my eye, and I put my hand behind him and he just like moved forward again, and nobody else saw really because everyone was standing, so no one was really like looking at us like that. But then we had a speech done by the president of the temple, who's actually one of my relatives, and he saw, so he brought it up in the speech. He kind of spinned it to be like, it was so nice to see that you guys are there to support one another, you know, like even when he was physically falling, like no one made a big scene, you just like kind of pushed him back forward. And you know, throughout life you're gonna have ups and downs, and you have to be able to like pick each other back up and stuff. So that was really nice, and like I was getting really emotional by them saying that. But yeah, he like literally, he could have just like literally fallen like on his ass. But that was like another crisis that was averted. So I brought it up to him later and I was like, sir, what were you doing? Like, what's going on? And he was like, oh, I didn't know that I could move my feet. And I was like, all you have to do was like wiggle your toes around a little bit. Nobody would have noticed if you're wiggling your toes, or just like secretly like switch the positioning of your feet or whatever. And he was like, I was told I had to like sit up straight and not move and not do anything. And I was like, okay, like why did you think that was gonna work out for you? It's all fine, obviously, now we laugh about it. It's a funny part of our whole wedding ceremony, but overall we absolutely loved everything. Now that I'm thinking about the reception night, I actually don't have any memories of what could have went wrong on the reception night. I'm sure there are some. I'll ask Dharm about it, which is now going to be the part of the video that he's going to join in. I'm going to force him to join and give me his opinion on in terms of what went well and what went wrong throughout the week. So let's go to that. Hi guys, it's a few weeks later, actually maybe months later. We're actually 1 week away from our first wedding anniversary, and so this video has taken a long time to come to fruition. I have Dharm with me, who is my husband now for almost a year, and I wanted to kind of give his input on the wedding week because our weddings were completely like separate from one another, like our pre-events until the day of the wedding. So I don't even know to this day like everything that went on his side. Obviously I talked you guys through what happened on my side, like the things that didn't go to plan. So I'm gonna ask you a few questions. Why do you look miserable? Okay, so I'm gonna ask you a few questions about your wedding week, and then that's it. Then I think the wedding content is done. Like, this is the last video of the wedding series. So definitely go back and watch my vlogs from my side. He doesn't vlog. He doesn't even want to be here right now, so there's no content from his side. Okay, so from the wedding week, what are some things that didn't go to plan? Things that went wrong, if there were any?
I don't think there was anything. I guess, like, as this sees everyone was late, I'm a very on-time person, so I was annoyed by that. But like, yeah.
But you only had like one real pre-event.
No, but I mean, just in general, people are late, things are late, like it's not just whatever, but that's it.
I was not late to the wedding, to be honest. I was not.
No, you weren't.
I was just remembering wearing my ring. Are you wearing yours?
No.
We're married, I promise you. We're just not. We just got ready.
I usually just wear my ring when I'm leaving the house. I don't wear it around.
I wear it all the time. I just haven't gotten to that. Anyways, we're still married. So nothing went wrong on your side at all?
No.
Wow, amazing. Okay, what was your favorite part of the wedding week?
I don't know, spending time with friends, family, just, it's nice.
Can you elaborate?
What, like it's just, like it's a nice get together.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
There's a lot of emotion being shared and people are just all happy in general.
See, like, it's funny because I yapped for like 30 minutes about my week and you have 2 sentences. I don't know if I mentioned actually at our reception that we forgot to tell the MC we had a speech. No, I didn't even say that. That's something that went wrong. It wasn't a big deal.
Yeah, well, to be honest, we didn't even think of doing a speech until like
I knew I always wanted to do one, but like we made it, like we came up with it like while we were already at the reception.
I didn't even think of it. The entire time I did not think about doing a speech.
I wanted to. I did because I wanted. It was just like stuff about you and like the wedding week and like thanking everybody and stuff like that. But then we had an MC, like we hired a professional, and then we ran through like the agenda of the, what's that what you call it? Like,
yes.
Yeah, with them, and then we just forgot to mention that we actually wanted to say a few words ourselves. But we had 3 speeches, like from my friends, your friend, and then his sisters, and then we just forgot to say that we had something to say ourselves. But other than that, it's now been a year since the wedding, and things have been going well.
Okay. Thanks.
Do you have any feedback for me?
No.
Are things going well?
Yeah.
Okay.
Are things going well?
Are things going well? Anyways, I think I did for this video, like there was actually not much from, it took me a year to convince him to even friggin' do this video and sit down. But if you guys want more videos from him, please let me know. Like if there's anything you want us to do, like being married now, like the adjustment period, Q&A style video, like living, I don't know, like together, family stuff, anything at all. You can just let me know and we can make those videos for you. Thank you guys for watching. If you haven't watched my wedding content already, I did vlog my entire wedding week, including the wedding and reception where he comes into play. If you guys want to watch those videos, definitely check out the playlist that I have on my channel. And then if you want to see more photos from our wedding, all of that's actually on my Instagram, so you can go and follow me there or just take a look, take a peek if you want to. And thank you guys for watching this video. Thank you for being on this journey with us. Like, we have been posting since we decided to get married, so when we got engaged and like, well, like our cultural engagement and the actual proposal and everything, all the behind the scenes of wedding planning, all of that is for you to enjoy on this channel and for us to look back at. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Subscribe to my channel if you want to see more of me and sometimes him. Thanks again for watching, and we'll see you in the next one. Bye.
See you in a year.
And yeah, that 2-year reunion. Bye.